Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos. This will
And my 12 weeks.
see it. I can still see me, so we'll see how that goes. Can you
I
still
love
see
when
you?
Yeah, I can still see me and I can still see you.
Interesting. Oh well, we're troubleshooting some fun ideas, folks. Anyways, this will be the fastest, I think, 12-week year episode, and we always try to make them a little bit on the quick side because I feel like, we do one every quarter because that's how this works. But this one, in honor of our last week's book review, we are keeping our 12-week year super short. Like,
Yes.
we're focusing on our one thing, right?
Yes.
So, first question though, how complicated was it for you to narrow down your 12-week year that I'm sure you were already somewhat tossing around what you were doing into one thing that is measurable, trackable, all of those things?
It wasn't for me, actually.
Really? Okay.
Well, because I was already doing it. I had already made the commitment to myself, and so I just kind of said, okay, this is my one thing then. I'm not adding a thing to my one thing.
Right.
I'm throwing everything into video.
Okay.
I've already done it my last 3 listings. I paid for creative and fun videos to be made, and I can see the uptick in my social media. And maybe I shouldn't say I'm throwing everything into video. I'm throwing everything into social media.
Yeah.
Social media will be my one thing right now. Between paid ads that get people into my funnel and videos, I'm going to try to do video more often, even if it's just me and my cell phone. Like I have one I need to edit and post today about a local coffee shop. But
is it that traveling sip?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, I want to go. We have to go.
It's so cute. Guys, we found this coffee shop. They were a food truck for a long time, and it's all Golden Girls themed.
I love it.
And it's super cute. And if I ever have an office, it's going to be like that, but with purple instead of pink. But so yeah, I made a video while I was there, and I just need to edit it and post it. And that's my big thing is I'll take the video, and then I forget to come home and do the second part. So I just need to get better at that. But my one thing the next 12 weeks is social media because I really want to dive into doing the better videos, doing the paid ads. I need to be in front of people who don't know me, and social media ads are a pretty easy way to do that, to at least start getting that like brand recognition. So that is, and to get people into the funnel. So I did one for 4th of July, similar to yours. That was a fireworks schedule.
Yep.
And I did a Facebook ad that took them to my website that had a whole PDF of different things they could do that weekend.
Yep.
So
it really doesn't have to be any more complicated than that, you know? Like that's the cool thing about, they're high funnel opportunities, but if you stay in front of people long enough, I forget the percentage, we'd have to like Google it, but I did a class once where they were literally like, okay, like this is how we reverse engineer how many people you should have in your database to close, like to make the GCI that you want, right? And people have these databases that are 12, 15, 20, 100,000 people, right? But they're not utilizing that database in the best way that they can to optimize it, because I forget, it literally like 10% or something like that of your sphere transacts statistically every year. So if you have a sphere that you love on consistently that's like 280 people, you should be able to close 12 deals. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I think just like anything else, we all overcomplicate the crap out of everything.
Yes, we do. Or we try to do everything. And if you try to do everything, you're probably not going to do any of it well enough to be effective.
Yes.
You're just not. So that's my main focus. There will still be, that's not the only thing I am doing.
Right.
But that is the thing I am focusing a majority of my time and attention and finances on. because I truly do want to see what happens if I do it and do it well.
Hmm. Well, and that's something that like it's so hard, especially with the algorithms and social media. Like you can't like post 5 days one week and then 2 days another week, and like it's a very systematic routine, really, because otherwise Facebook's like,
Yeah.
unreliable.
Yep. And like if you have a creator profile like I do, Brenna, is yours set up that way?
Yes.
Um, then you can see what's hitting and what's missing.
Hmm.
And it will tell you how many new followers you got this week and how many people it reached. So you can track how it's performing. Where I could send 1,000,000 expired letters and make 100 phone calls. And I guess I could track the phone calls to what they convert to. But this I can set a dollar amount to. Like I can that's so I get off on numbers when it comes to stuff like that. I want to know what my ROI is.
Yeah.
So for the next 3 months, I'm focusing on social media.
Ba-da-ba. Okay. Perfect. I love it.
What's yours?
Listen, this was hard for me because I'm like,
Well, and you have some
I,
transition in your life coming up during this quarter. Like
yeah.
normally you'd be jumping into PTO stuff and prepping for next year and
Mhm.
there's some change coming. So,
There's a lot of big change coming, and it's a big change for me and the kids. And I have to like remember and kind of be mindful and respectful of that too. And I mean, I feel like it just like coming into this quarter, knowing that the kids are out of school, right? Summer, I usually like, listen, give myself, set my goals to be on par with what I want to do with my family, right? Not
right.
necessarily like my my quarters are usually Q3 and Q4 when they are going back to school, things are ramping up, like that kind of thing. So I do think that it'll be a little bit of a shift, but I hope that this I will tell you what my one thing is going to be, and you can tell me if that's too broad. And if it's
Okay.
too broad, I have a backup plan.
Okay. Well, if it's okay, tell me what it is and then we'll see if you need to back up
Well,
or
because
if we need to just narrow it.
I feel like the one thing is something like that for me, just like you, like the ROI, you need to be able to track and see how it's working, right? And this, okay, 5 Mile Famous, right? I need to, because we're losing a lot of, I don't want to say losing because I'm still going to be able to be in front of the teachers and they will be able to go in for after school activities at our school, that kind of thing. Like we'll still be involved, but we do lose a big chunk of that, right?
Right.
So, and Violet thinks that this is probably going to be the end of her life as she knows it. So I'm like, well, we're going to do 4-H, right? We can
Oh.
do craft day at the library. Like I can, we just, there was 17 people. I think there was 8 moms. We all went roller skating a couple of weeks ago. And I just like reached out to different people. It's like, hey, we're going roller skating. Hey, we're doing this. I like the events. I like people, you know, and if I can get it so my kids are doing things too, I just feel like building a community, not necessarily for real estate, but building a community is where you build those relationships. We've talked
Hmm.
about this before, where that comes full circle.
Right.
Is 5 Mile Famous too broad? Because honestly, 5 Mile Famous is like I sent out postcards yesterday. Her boxes inside this little circle that I have. Are we talking about little get-togethers with and mom activities? Like there's so much that goes into 5 Mile Famous. Is that is that too big of a one thing? Or is that something that I'm like, I'm not necessarily calling Fizbos from Statesville and Charlotte. You know, like I'm focusing
Right.
on
Within 5 miles.
my community,
I don't
right?
think it's too broad. I think,
Okay, great.
but only because you already have such a grasp on that. And you just said right there, I'm not going to the Charlotte Statesville Fizbos anymore. I'm focusing here. And I think it's a good focus because you are going to have, because now that we're transitioning into what we're transitioning into, you're not going to have the time to get to the Statesville, to get to the Charlotte. You really do need to drill down in a radius that will allow you to do everything you now need to do.
Hmm.
Um,
it'll change to like even yesterday I mailed out a postcard or it's a company. It will be mailed out, but I got it all set up to be mailed out this week. I went through the list and I literally deleted people off the list that are, in Claremont. In like I
Yeah.
only sent this one to Newton addresses,
Right.
right?
And I mean,
And I
there
can
might, you're not going to turn down if you have
oh,
old client,
absolutely
like
not.
obviously, or maybe you'll refer it out if you literally physically don't have the time. But
Mhm.
pursuit of new business in those areas won't
Mhm.
happen.
Right. I have a listing coming up in Charlotte. It's a past client. I've done like 6 deals with her, like I'm not going to
Right.
not work with her. But and we talked about this before, like really like understanding that it takes half a day to get to Charlotte
Yeah.
and do photos or an open house and then come back, those kinds of things. But I think little changes like that, even like my her boxes, like I'm not sending them to Granite Falls. Like if I take these 3 months and focus on these 5 miles, like Newton, this
Mm-hmm.
is where I am. That I think that parts and pieces of it are all different, right? My backup
Right.
plan was like, all right, my one thing is her boxes,
Mm-mm.
equity reports on like high
I
note,
mean, I
that kind of
think
thing.
those are part of your 5 mile famous.
Oh, for sure.
So
And
if you are
they'll
pursuing the
be done.
FISBOs and the expireds in your area, then yeah, the her boxes and stuff like that are going to be part of it. But I like your 5 mile famous is your one thing, and you're going to do the things. And I think you'll find maybe the first part of this quarter, you're going to do a lot of things in that, and you'll narrow it down to be like, okay,
What's
what's
actually worth
getting
your
me
time.
right? What's working? And
Hmm.
maybe you won't figure that out till the end of this quarter. So then next quarter will be okay, I'm focusing on 5 mile famous, but truly I'm focusing on these 3 tactics within it
Hmm.
because that's what works.
Sure. And I think the same thing goes for your social media and your video, right?
Oh,
Maybe you
absolutely.
realize that your strong suit in this 3 months is those listing videos that are quirky
Right.
and pop culture and like that kind of thing. And maybe they're local spots like your coffee shop. Maybe it's just like, hey, have coffee like a local, like that, and drawing people to learn more about our small areas because I mean, growing up in Maine, people are like, oh, Skowhegan, Norwich Walk, like, where's that? And you could name off 53 towns, but it's just so much easier to just be like, I live an hour outside of Augusta,
Right.
like the
Right.
capital. Because
Right.
here, too, it's either Winston-Salem, Raleigh, or Charlotte. Those are the
Right.
only, or Asheville. Like, those are the 4 hubs that people know
Yeah.
when they think North Carolina. But what do they think when they think Hickory? Well, they don't because they have no idea what
Right.
Hickory
No one knows
is.
what hickory is.
Yeah. So if you're like diving in, like yesterday, it's funny you said that you filmed the coffee shop, and we have another episode coming up that's like content that's convert.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that one. But um, as simple as like we went to the library. This is the second library that we've gone to in Catawba County, and I've filmed both of them, so I can do a reel on the one in Conover, the one in Newton. I can do a mix of all of them,
Right.
and that's all especially for my avatar, my family avatar, my people with kids. That's who I speak to because that's who I am.
Right.
Um, so I think that's great. Oh my god, we're gonna kill it.
We're going to kill it. All right, guys. So
My
here's,
favorite thing about this, I have to tell you, my favorite thing about this 12-week year is not being like, I'm going to have XYZ in transactions.
I mean,
It's my
I
favorite.
don't get me wrong, there's a number in my head,
Oh no,
but
for sure.
I
For
don't feel as
sure.
much pressure.
Mhm.
I don't feel overwhelmed going over this quarter.
Because here's the thing, this market is wonky, and it's not wonky because it's crashing, it's wonky
No.
because it's stabilizing, it's
Right.
normalizing. But it's so hard to base how you feel about your success in business off numbers that you have literally like zero control over.
Right.
You can do, and just like last quarter or even recently, like you lost 2 deals, right? Like right back to back. We've done the work, you've done the things to get those transactions. What happens in that 30 to 45 days to closing, we
Right. Not in
really
my
don't
control.
have much say over.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
So
So
I think focusing on the actions that get us the business this quarter, I'm excited about it.
Hi, I'm back.
I just said I just said that I'm excited about focusing on the actions this quarter and less on
Yes, and not the
the
numbers.
results because
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
I think it's good for our mental health
I
at this
agree.
point too, especially with the things that we all have going on in our lives that sometimes doing the things is what you have to do and it'll pay off later, right? You can't not do the
Right,
things and expect to have a great Q4, but if you're doing the things and Q3 is a little shaky, like it what you do today will affect you
right.
in 90 days. So let's just hustle out. Let's
Exactly.
hustle out this
And I mean,
quarter.
how many times in the last year and a half have you and I even just proven that with like what's happened in our lives that we've discussed here? To be like, yeah, I had a slow quarter, but remember, here's what happened. Now I'm gaining traction
Hmm.
because.
Oh, you can
So
date it
yeah,
back.
just
It's
remember what you
crazy.
do now, 90 days.
Whew.
So
All right. That's
absolutely.
it.
All
That
right.
seems
Well, we set ourselves a goal for 15 minutes and we're at
yeah,
15:45, which we would have been on time if I hadn't hit the
killing it.
wrong button and disappeared. So you guys focus on your one thing, figure out what it is. We'd love to hear about it. So send us a DM or an email and we will see you
Bye
next
guys.
week.
We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.